Hey everyone.
Welcome to Podcast for Your Life, a podcast where we share thoughts from our life.
For yours, I'm Jam.
And I'm Jason.
And today we are going to talk about, Jason, what are we talking about?
Dude, we're going to talk about trending ingredients for your life.
Trending like...
Maybe not trending, trendy. Trendy ingredients.
Okay, but we usually try not to be on the cusp of the trendy.
Right.
So,
But it's not like current trends. It's just like the idea of trendy ingredients.
okay, the idea of...
Yeah.
So mostly trendy ingredients of the past.
It's kind of like a theoretical approach to trendy ingredients.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
That appeases you?
Yeah, it does.
It appeases our followers too, because by this point, they're probably like, man, I can't believe they would ever try to do something like talk about trending things.
So when you say ingredients that are trendy, you mean what?
So like, my idea of what it's like when people are talking about these like buzzing ingredients is you've got these, chefs that they just kind of spend their lives, or they spend their days at least, in a test kitchen, and they're just kind of like whipping up different things. But this test kitchen is connected to just like a basic grocery store, and they probably walk around and look at different ingredients on the shelf, and they say, you know what, it's been a while since little neck clams were popular, so let's just like throw together something and we'll market it to everybody, and then everybody in the country is going to be talking about little neck clams. So that's my perception of how these trending ingredients get started.
So basically it's the same idea that we kind of have that's probably pretty true about fashion, where there's people that are intentionally setting the trends that are kind of like part of the big, companies or whatever, part of the fashion shows or something. They decide, oh, this kind of jeans or whatever are coming back because we're going to make it come back.
We're going to make it come back, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you think, and I don't have a lot of knowledge about this, but
Yeah,
your idea is that this same thing is happening with ingredients. People are intentionally deciding
It's
what...
probably the same place. It's like downstairs is the test kitchen and upstairs is the fashion suite.
Okay, all one place, all setting all the trends.
It's like a one-stop shop.
Actually, it's kind of like that company we talked about in Fads for Your Life, episode 5, I think it was, where we kind of toyed with the idea of if one company, all they do is try to come up with fads.
Yep.
Like the scooter and the
It's probably the same company.
Heelys and everything.
They've got to eat. They got to feed their employees. They got to feed their chefs or their fad designers.
Although the fashion floor, weirdly, they don't actually eat that much. It's kind of interesting.
Oh man.
So I got the idea. I got the sort of, for lack of a better word, conspiracy. I'm not trying to, dog it or anything. But what are some examples? Like, I need to know of some like good, tried and true examples of trendy ingredients.
Okay. Yeah. I probably should have started that with that. Apologize. Salted caramel. That would be like a trending or fad or buzz, whatever ingredient. I like using the term buzz ingredient because some of these ingredients are like still popular. That's why I wouldn't say they're just like a fad. They're not like, 1 year they're like, whoa, they're in everything, and then the next year they're not.
Yeah.
But I would also say that to define buzz ingredients, it can't be something like bacon. Bacon has always been good, always been popular. You know?
Right.
So I wouldn't say that bacon is like a buzz ingredient. I wouldn't even say that avocado is a buzz ingredient. As much as like people try to say like, our new Subway sandwich with avocado.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's not a buzz ingredient.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying, because like salted caramel, like I feel like a few years ago, just saw this huge uptick in things having salted caramel. But is there a difference in that, like sea salt caramel or whatever? Is there a difference in that and like other kinds of caramel flavoring? Like I don't really know.
Yeah, I think like the only caramel that I knew was like the caramel found in like caramel syrup or caramel apples.
But the buzz one right now is sea salt.
Salted, yeah, specifically salted. I think it doesn't really matter whether it's sea salt or whether it's salted. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they taste the same.
Mm-hmm. Sea salt does sound better. I mean, I'm going to agree with whatever marketing team decided to put that together.
Anyway, so that's just kind of what I've been thinking about lately.
Okay, so...
Because like, obviously, it seems like each season has its own kind of like special ingredient, you know? And some are like every year, like pumpkin spice. It's like every fall, okay, it's pumpkin spice season.
Yeah.
Then there's others that are like, I don't know, winter would probably be peppermint. And then spring, summer, they probably have, you know, but it's like, so those, it's like, I would still call those buzz ingredients.
Right. Well, especially because, like, you bring up a good point with pumpkin spice. A few years ago, that wasn't, like, as much of a thing as it is. Like,
Really?
Starbucks has gone nuts with that. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's been a big deal for at least 10 years.
I don't know, honestly. But, like, what I mean is that pumpkin, I mean, no one would disagree for years and years that pumpkin has been a thing for a long time. But,
Right.
like, just the idea of the pumpkin spice flavored drink, and pumpkin spice this, like, that's become a,
Right.
a buzzword thing.
Right, the pumpkin spice. And then they have ice cream that's pumpkin. And they have pie that's pumpkin. It's crazy. I mean, like, we've at least had pumpkins since the first Thanksgiving. At least. That's a good 400 years that we've had pumpkins.
That's
and
true.
I don't think that it necessarily needs to be so trendy all of a sudden.
All the photographs we have from the first Thanksgiving
Yeah.
do indicate that there are some pumpkins.
Yeah, they were just like eating their turkey and sipping on PSLs after that meal.
PSL, that's terrible. What's weird though is that, like, so pumpkin spice, we obviously it's been around, but surely somebody had to have had that idea. Some other local coffee shop somewhere, small coffee shop,
Totally.
had to have had that idea. Been doing it for a while, and then it's like Starbucks decides to do it, and boom, it hits critical mass for buzz ingredient status. Like, the instant they come out with someone was big as Starbucks, it's like, yeah, they immediately jump to like critical mass. It's a buzz ingredient.
Right. Again, they're the people with the designers upstairs designing stuff too. So
That's probably true.
You know, it works.
You know what's sad though is that there's probably people out there who never had a pumpkin spice something until Starbucks made it, or they never had a sea salt caramel this until Starbucks or some other big corporation made it. Basically, there's people out there who've never had a unique experience.
Wow.
They've only had the things that have gotten that most popular, the critical mass buzz status, and then that's all they ever had. And they just are kind of having a repeat experience of every other person in the U.S.
That's a bold statement because what if they already have had a buzz ingredient that's just not popular yet?
I mean, that's
know?
fine. What I'm saying is that most people didn't have, like, there's a good chunk of the population in the U.S. who have not had a unique experience, maybe only a handful in their life, because they never had pumpkin spice until Starbucks made it. That's what I'm saying.
So this is specifically a pumpkin spice.
No, that's just an example.
just an
There's a
example.
type of person
Okay,
out there
gotcha.
that makes up the majority of the U.S. that have only ever had the
Wow.
things once they become buzz status.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying that to sort of cast judgment on those people. I just mean that it is sad, not in a way that is judgy on them, but sad in that, like, man, there's so many things out there to discover that aren't buzz things. You know what I mean? Basically, the world is an adventure of ingredients waiting to be enjoyed.
The world is your oyster
The world is your
until oysters become trendy, and then it's just that analogy kind of fell flat. So what are some of your favorite like trendy ingredients or buzz ingredients from your life?
Dang, I'd say I've been on the benefiting end of the spaghetti squash craze of 2015, whenever that was that happened.
Remember the great spaghetti squash craze of 2015?
Emily and I really like spaghetti squash a lot. So, despite the fact that it
It's pretty great.
was like very much one of those BuzzFeed article kind of like, check this out, it's this thing that's been around forever, but you didn't ever hear of it.
Right.
It's one of those, but like, it's one that's stuck around in our cycle of meal prep things. We eat spaghetti squash probably once every 2 weeks or so.
That's a lot of spaghetti squash.
It's great. So that's probably the only one I can think of that's been a buzz ingredient type of thing that I've really enjoyed. But honestly, I haven't thought much about this until you brought up the idea of buzz ingredients. I hadn't really thought about this at all. So what are some ones that...
Well, that's surprising for you, though, because I would have said kombucha is yours because you kombucha it up a lot, or at least you used to.
That's true.
Maybe
actually.
you had your own personal fad.
No, I still kombucha.
Okay.
over the weekend, Emily and I bottled 8 liters.
8 liters
of kombucha. We tried a sort of sangria
Ooh,
flavoring to it.
oh, that sounds amazing.
Um,
Did you just add sangria to it?
no,
That'd
we did a ton of.
that would've been
That's
really
actually
cool.
a pretty good idea. But we did a ton of different fruit and stuff.
It's basically one step away from wine anyway. You might as well just add a little bit of
No,
sangria.
we just did a lot of different fruits, and we
That's
sort
cool.
of called it like a sangria, but it's
You
not really.
you should make like a ginger beer. It's like a ginger kombucha that's like a a
Dude,
ginger beer kombucha. It's
If I
almost
could get
like
it that gingery, that would be amazing. I love
good.
ginger. I've added ginger to a lot of them. I think I overdid it because M has been a little bit gingered out, so we're kind of taking a break a little bit
Mm-hmm.
from the ginger. But I cannot be gingered out.
right. It's like she's kind of like gingerly trying to approach her next kombucha
Yeah.
flavors.
And for me, I have, if there's one thing I don't approach gingerly, it's ginger.
There you go. Well said. My favorite buzz ingredient would be sriracha.
Man, wow, that's a good one.
And the reason why it's my favorite is not only is it delicious as a spicy chili sauce, but it is also the one that I think has the most organic buzz surrounding it.
Okay.
So I think it was, if you know the history of sriracha, it was the like Hui Fong red bottle, green cap kind of stuff that you get at the stores that seems to be like the original or like the one that everybody loves and everybody's making t-shirts and hats about. That's the one that was made, I think, it was like the 70s or 80s. It was a guy from Thailand who came to the U.S. and started his sriracha plant in California after a bunch of his fellow Thai migrants were like, hey, we really miss the delicious chili sauce that we used to have in our home country. And he was like, well, I can make some. And boom, he made the Hui Fong sriracha that's delicious. And so it's been around for a while. It's not a new thing. But it seemed to organically grow in its popularity in the past, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. But this wasn't like something that like all the stores were pushing, or it wasn't something that a big organization was saying like, now featuring our sriracha drink or our sriracha chips or whatever. It was something that just was like, whoa, have you tried sriracha? Hey, have you tried sriracha? And all of a sudden these red bottles with green tops are showing up everywhere in every restaurant that you go to. And you're like, well, why is it so popular? It seems like everybody's having it.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
remember I heard about it from a friend before anywhere
Right.
else. Like someone told me about it and showed it to me, and I tried it at their house kind of thing. Very organic.
Exactly. Word of
Person to
mouth.
person, yeah.
So that's why I think, and now it's like grown and now everybody knows about it for the most part, and every brand has tried to do some sort of sriracha flavoring. So now it'd be considered a buzz ingredient, but I would say it's better than the other ones because it came organically.
Nice.
Rather than through some sort of push. And it's also a good product, you know? It's a delicious tasting sauce.
They're kind of like the indie band of the buzz ingredients, you know?
Definitely indie. Yeah. Sriracha. The indie album.
You know, Sriracha's first album was much better than their first album.
Yeah.
So much
I think they keep getting better. It's just more creative. Well, yeah, that's pretty much wraps up my thoughts for Buzz Ingredients. Do you have any closing statements or morals of the story for us?
My thought, and this is something I'm taking as an objective for myself, and would recommend others do it as well. Don't wait for something to become a buzz ingredient. Just go out and try stuff. Be an adventurer when it comes to ingredients.
Be an adventurous ingredient.
Yeah. Be a food adventurer. I can't think of a better way to say it.
Man, that is some good food for thought, Jam. I appreciate you.
Well,
Appreciate your passion for that.
I'm still going to eat spaghetti squash, though. So I'm not saying I'm going to abandon my roots. So
You should try salted caramel spaghetti squash. I heard it's the newest thing.
I'm thinking spaghetti squash kombucha would be the next level.
Well, I'm just cringing just thinking about that.
Okay, gross.
What if it had like tomato sauce? Tomato sauce? That's just weird.
We might want to, that'd be like a Bloody Mary kombucha. Let's end this before it gets too gross.
Yeah, we don't want to gross our listeners.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. Feel free to suggest topics to us by emailing us at podcastforyourlife@gmail.com.
Or message us on Facebook.
Facebook's great. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, enjoy.